there's a rumor about a new exhaust for Vitarazi. Everybody knows that they've got the trouble with the cracking happening. So there's a company that's coming out with the new one. It's made out of glass, and they're claiming that it's 10 times stronger than whatever material Vitarazi is using. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the new glass exhaust pipe. It's 10 times stronger than the steel Vitarazi uses. So I had a cracked pipe last night. Let's get into that. So I have here every 10mm wrench left in the world. Sorry to interrupt our regularly scheduled programming, but I had to come on here and say that every single wrench in that photo is now gone. Vaporware, disappeared, vanished into the nether mist. I had to buy all new 10mm tools. They may be gone too now. I don't know where they go. I don't know who takes them. It's goblins, demons, aliens, ghosts, werewolves. There's some magical force that sucks all the 10mm tools out of this world. Just wanted to come here to say that, that's all. Okay, back to the video. I got the long socket, I got the short one, and I've got an adjustable wrench. 10 mil, baby, 10 mil. Let's see, we got cracks on both sides of this exhaust. I just popped the springs off, and you can see that the brass ring, it's dirty, but it's relatively unscathed. Let's take this thing off here. See what we're cooking with. All right, inside the brass ring, we've got pretty even wear. I can see the wear pattern where the brass has been rubbing against the exhaust. The brass ring itself. Let's pop this thing off. So the brass ring seems to be in pretty good shape. This is a new motor. This motor has a very few hours on it. The fit inside the pipe here, inside the pipe, there's no uneven wear marks. There's nothing that's biting. This is the new design brass ring that has the different geometry. It still moves in there quite nicely. It's not restricted or bound up in any way. So I don't think that this is the problem. What I think and what I've always thought is it's poor steel or a poor heat treat. And I'm still not changed my mind about that. And I'm gonna weld this one back up and just see how long it lasts, do a proper repair instead of a quick one. You know, remove the exhaust and do it right. So that's what's coming up next. But again, these are my thoughts as a metallurgist. I can see what's going on, and I'm gonna try to video it under heat. I've never tried to video what it is I'm about to try, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what we can figure out together. So I contacted the dealer, the distributor for which I purchased this motor. This motor had 15 hours on it. It cracked the exhaust. The dealer who I purchased it through, there was like a reconsolidation recently through Vitarazi. And what they did is, the particular dealer that I went through, he referred me to Glider Sports out of Clinton, Missouri. I know Garrett, I've known him for years. They've got some pretty dang good service out there. I'm really glad that they're handling the warranty claims. So I filled out the warranty form and typed in all the information required, and I had to take a boatload of pictures. What the hell? Pictures of the propeller, the mounts, the serial number for the engine, the damage, the assembled paramotor, all of the above. I've got big pictures. That makes number 2. I've had 2 exhausts crack from Vitarazi, both under 15 hours. One was the old 3-spring version, one is now the 4-spring version. But you know, I half expected this. These motors are famous for cracking exhaust. I still like Vitarazi engines. The engines themselves run and run and run. They crank, they work, they require minimal maintenance, but the pipes crack. That's just a downfall of Vitarazi, and I think the Italians are working on it. As defensive as they are with some people about putting it out there and letting the world know, they say, you know, it's our fault for not warming them up correctly or for doing something wrong. I don't know. I don't know that we do anything wrong with these engines. You know, we crank them, we warm them up, we launch them, and we fly them. We fly them like we fly paramotors. I tried to baby this one. It didn't work. I've got Vitarazi products all around. I've got 2 new Mavericks sitting here, got a Maverick here, got a MacFly here, the MacFly in the truck. I don't even know. I've got so many paramotors, I don't even know what they all are anymore. This build over here, I'm actually putting a, can you see it? God, I suck at camera work. I've got the Vortex Aero exhaust on this one, so I'm excited to give this one a whirl and romp it and stomp it and see what happens. In the meantime, I think I'm gonna do some videos. I don't know. I kind of plan these things as I go. I don't really have like video ideas, but what I want to do is show you what I think is causing these cracks on these exhaust pipes. Obviously, there's some stress from the engine, but I think it's poor metal. I think it's poor steel. I've done a lot of studies studying metallurgy. I did knife making for several years until I hurt my arm blacksmithing, like I can't hammer anymore. I learned a lot about metal, and when you heat the metal, you can see the grains, and I want to take a video of that. I just want to show you what I'm seeing when I heat a Vitarazi exhaust. I've got an old busted one up here, and I'm gonna take the torch to it, try to set up a camera so that you can see what I'm seeing when I heat it up under the torch, and then describe that to you as we're looking at it and what it means by what we're seeing. I don't know how easy that video will be to make. I will try to make that, so look for that one coming soon. But in the meantime, I got some moving around to do. I'm gonna take the harness and the reserve off of my Parajet Maverick, and I'm gonna put it over here on this MacFly. Just move the reserve harness combination over there and attach it to this paramotor. Set that one up, and I'm gonna test this one out. This is the engine off the old Dirty Bird build that I did, and we're going to rock this dude out and see how she goes. We're gonna try to break that Vortex exhaust and see if we can. What am I trying to say? Oh yeah, let's get right to that, guys. Much love, everybody. Kyle out. Okay, so check it out. Okay, I remembered to put on my seatbelt. I feel like I'm some kind of proud daddy or something. So I put together a machine, bought a frame, had a motor, had a exhaust, had a harness, oh, and had a propeller. I've acquired all these different items over the years, and I finally put them together to form a Voltron. Of course, there's a big, tall cloud. Like, it may shut me down or at least delay me at the least, at the most. I don't know, it might delay me. I might have weather situation to deal with, but the winds are calm, the thermals are good. I'm going to fly, and I think I'm gonna fly by myself. Now, I've had some recreational flights, but I've not flown alone in some time. I kind of am excited about that. Can you see it better with the window down? Looks like that may actually have some rain falling out of it. I don't know. That's a pretty big cloud. It's too hazy underneath the tail. It's the kind of stuff that could turn foul, or it could go away into nothing. I got zero movement on any of the wind indicators locally here. Big clouds. It's 5 o'clock almost. We'll see. Play it by ear as usual. See, that's the kind of stuff that scares me. The stuff that's really growing fast, and I know I could get in and out of it, but I'm asking myself right now, do I want to? Am I hot, tired, and lazy? I don't know the answer to that question exactly. It's a hard question. I mean, I know I'm hot. I'm super fucking hot, but I feel pretty lazy today. It's like lazy Sunday, you know? This cloud is growing and coming right at me. By the time I get stuff laid out and launched, it may be fine, or it may turn to shit within minutes. And this is the roll of the dice. This is what we play, the game we play. The go, no-go decision. One thing that'll really, really hurt you is weather. And this is just a tiny little cloud. This cloud is not, okay, so it's a pretty big cloud. But on the scale of weather, it's not that big of a deal. In your micro environment, like the area that I'm sitting in right now, deciding to fly, or not, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm dealing with. There's also a big storm out here to the south that I believe it is on the tail end. I believe it is dissipating. My internet data is out right now. I don't know if it's the network or my phone. It usually works out here. For some reason, I'm not getting a signal, and I'm unable to look at the trend to see what's going on. So part of my checks are out. I checked it a little while ago at the house, and it looked marginal. That was my whole point of driving out here. I wanted to drive out here and see what it looks like. It looks like this cloud may be topping out and kind of like hitting the peak, and then it come back down. So that's the way it works. Whenever you shoot like a time lapse, you know, it'll grow, and then it'll come down. And it's the come down that, you know, either it drops rain and wind and hail and nastiness, or it just blows a little wind, a little cool wind comes out of it. So, you know, nobody knows the future. They're predicting like the possibility of some development here. It's a small chance, but yet I can see it developing as we speak. The other thing that I'm noticing, I'm getting some wind. They were predicting, like the meteorological predictions were showing like 0 and 1 mile an hour wind. And it's like a steady 8. So what I'm thinking is there is a gust front out here in the distance, and that is blowing toward me. And that is the wind that I'm feeling on the ground right now. Everything's sort of a mix. It's sort of a scramble. It's sort of like the flip of a coin. Should I stay or should I go now? There's always some music for the mood, right? I really want to fly, but I really want good conditions to do the type of flight that I want to do. I want to go up and do some asymmetric collapses and some half glider control maneuvers. And I'm also test flying this new MacFly. Here, let me show you what's going on with inventory at the Kyle's School of Paramotor. A local guy, David, bought one of these MacFly units and I flew it a few times. And Matt Minyard, that's his brand that he flies. And I bought me a couple of these dudes. I got the MacFly Atom 80 version, and then I got the Moster version with the 150 centimeter cage. So I can run a really big propeller on that, or run a smaller propeller and have ample clearance, maybe for students to do their flying on. But this is the unit that I put together today, the one here on the left. I would like to go and do a little test flight on that, and I might do that anyway, even though I see rain falling out of that cloud now. Man, shit, I've got this rule. About if I have to question, should I go flying 3 times? I don't go flying. I've questioned it twice now. So I'm gonna ask myself a 3rd time here shortly before I decide. And I'll either do it or not. That's how it goes. I don't know, maybe I'll do well shit, I gotta have internet. Maybe I'll do a live internet broadcast and see what the shooting gallery thinks. Maybe see if somebody could check the radar for me elsewhere, but if I had internet, I could check it myself. So that would be a stupid waste. Yeah, so this cloud has topped out. It's not gonna overdevelop as far as I could tell, but it's blocking what may be back here behind it. This stuff in the distance I can't see because this cloud here, it's basically petering out, has inhibited my ability to see what's behind it. And it looks like there's rain falling out here in the distance. This little bit right here, it looks to me like there may be some rain coming out of that cloud, and that'll either get bigger. Fact is, I think that's the wind that I'm feeling right now, where they're not predicting any, and I'm getting like a steady 7-8 mile an hour wind. I believe that is a gust front coming out of this development that's happening out here to my southeast. And usually that's fine. This amount of wind is not scary or dangerous or anything, but the fact that nobody was saying there was going to be any wind tonight, and you get here and you feel like a lot of wind, well, a lot for around here. Obviously, this is pretty mild winds as far as the conditions. But what's it gonna do? Is it gonna go up or down? All the predictions are, damn, I'm mushmouth today, man. Maybe I am tired. Maybe I shouldn't go just because of the way I feel psychologically. All the predictions were saying that the rain chances are gonna shoot from like 10% to 90% between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight. And it's 6 right now. So we're kind of on the edge of where they're saying we might get some hella rain, but I don't see hella rain happening. I just see some mild development. Nothing is moving crazy fast. I don't hear any thunder. I do have earplugs in. I'm not gonna ask myself the question just yet. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. Maybe I'll get some gear out, then that'll make it totally not work. Or maybe I should drive to the house and then everything will start looking great. You know, that's what happens. You know, when it's the flip of a coin, when it's 50-50 like this, usually your best bet's just to call the good side and go home. I did get to fly yesterday. Also cracked a muffler yesterday, and I want to do this little test flight, even if it's just a little short one. I don't know, is it pushing my luck? Is that what this is? Is this Kyle pushing his limits, pushing his luck? Am I gonna die today if I go? I think Dale would say yes, but I really don't think so. If I were to drive, say, 50 miles over to the east, I would more or less be out of time, and then I would have wasted an hour driving both ways. That is not worth it to me personally. I could probably outrun this stuff, get out from under it, get in a clear spot, go flying for a short flight. Everything's pros and cons to each decision you make. Right now, I'm still focused purely on the go, no-go. And I'm squarely in the middle of the road on it. I'm squarely 50-50 on should I or should I not. And part of that's laziness. I mean, safety-wise, I think it'd be perfectly safe to do a short little flight. Even if that stuff turned ugly, I would have enough time to come back down, get my stuff put away before the ugliness got here. You can have ugliness right beside you and you've got 10 minutes. So that's, it's not moving real fast. Sometimes you can smell it. It smells kind of like rain. There's a smell when it rains. I forget there's a word for it. It's like a natural phenomenon thing. Humans are really in tune with the way that smell is. Seeing, hearing, smelling, feeling, all of these things. All your senses need to play a part in what you should do what you shouldn't do. Intuition, there's a bit to be said about intuition, but your intuition, you've got to be somewhat skilled at making those decisions for your intuition to play a part. Just some random new guy's like, I think it's gonna be okay, or oh no, this is gonna be terrible and I'm scared and I shouldn't do it. Both of those could be extreme cases of the wrong answer. Usually the truth lies somewhere in the middle of those far-ended responses. Either send it every time and pray for the best, or never go because it's always not perfect. The air will never be perfect. On occasion, you'll get some really, really good air, but perfection is just something that doesn't happen with the weather. The air moves. But again, I got stuff, just a couple random things in the distance pushing in on me, and I'm not really liking it. So I guess that's my third pick. I should probably do this test fly another time. There's a pretty substantial gust hitting the tree line over here. I can feel it. Is this good camera work? I'm thinking this is excellent content right here. I can hear it. Can you hear it? Sorry about that. I get carried away sometimes. So I called this cloud right. This cloud here turned into nothing. It's already sort of mushing and dissipating and falling down. It's the stuff behind it that I don't see that gives me pause. And also this larger stuff right out here. It was showing on the radar before I left, and I can still see it, but again, it looks like it's in the dissipation phase. I'm gonna get off this camera here and I'm gonna watch it for a little bit on my own. I may stand out here and just do some weather watching this evening. Do it like that. May take the motor out, may take the wing out, do some kiting. I still like it, I may go. We'll see, guys. Let's do it like that. So I ended up actually going flying that evening, but I'm gonna save that for another video. I was messing around with some collapses and stuff. This one seems to be running a little bit long, so I'm gonna cut it here. Look forward to the next one. Subscribe, hit the little bell, and you'll know whenever it drops, and you can complete this day with me. Much love, everybody. Kyle out.